This election cycle has been dominated by a crop of unorthodox presidential contenders like we've never seen before. Or have we? Joining me now is so-called outsider from 2012. Herman Cain is here, a Fox News contributor and the author of The Right Problems, What the President, Congress, and Every Candidate Should Be Working On. Mr. Cain, good evening, and thank you for being here.
Thank you, Sandra. Happy to be with you.
All right, so you know a little bit about what it feels like and what it's like in general to run as an outsider. What are these candidates feeling right now?
Well, I happen to believe that two outsiders are leading most of the polls, Donald Trump and Ted Cruz, because Cruz is considered to be an outsider, because Main Street USA is sick and tired of business as usual in Washington, D.C. They don't fix anything, and they don't work on the right problems, as you mentioned, which is the name of my book. So nothing gets solved. So people are extremely frustrated on Main Street. They are looking past all of the noise that some of the pundits like to focus on. They are looking for three things. They're looking for a leader, a fighter, and a winner. Now, you use the word passion. I agree with that. Sometimes that passion comes across as that person being a fighter, and that is a good thing. I agree with Dr. Carson. He has nailed what part of the problem is for the Republicans, and he's also nailed that it needs to stop. But unfortunately, too many of the political professionals advise their candidates to do that type of going after the throat of each other instead of that civility that he talked about.
Knowing what you know from your bid as an outsider, what would you tell those outsiders that are running right now, and do you support any of them?
I support several of them, and I made my support known 4 months ago, so this is not new. Three of the people that I identified 4 months ago were Trump, Cruz, and Rubio, and they're still leading in the polls by different amounts. Here's what I would advise them to do that would get the people on Main Street's attention. Put bold ideas and bold solutions on the table. Whenever you attack because of some of this petty stuff or this personal stuff, pivot to that bold idea. I identified 9 of them in my new book, along with solutions. Many of them agree with these. They are not that far apart ideologically. They just simply need to talk more about it.
What do you make of this infighting, though, within the GOP and the idea that this could tear the party apart?
I do agree that it can tear the party apart. I happen to believe that it was that sort of attacks, those sort of attacks that caused 3 million people to stay home in the last presidential election, and Mitt Romney lost. Now, I happen to believe that Barack Obama's people probably had some better tactics. That was a part of it. But when 3 million people stay home, something is wrong. And what's wrong is they get so turned off that they don't get energized and they don't go to vote. These outsiders are not just attracting the base of conservatives and Republicans, they are attracting a lot of people who had given up, tuned out because of the type of things that we're now seeing amongst the Republicans.
All right, we have to leave it there, but at this point in the election, do you believe that an outsider will be elected?
I believe an outsider will be elected at this point in the election, yes.
All right, Herman Cain, good to get your perspective, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Sandra.